Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I thought I would introduce my client Nick, and this is going to be very different from my other vlogs. This is something that, Nick volunteered. He talked to me about and said, I'd kind of like to do a vlog. I see the other vlogs you have people doing. I'd like to see my stuff up there. And I thought about it and I'm like, he's definitely not my standard client. But when you really look at it, how many people out there are going to be able to relate to someone like Nick? Nick is over 40. He's a novice lifter, right? He needs to lose some body weight. He still needs to build a strength base, and he's not a kid. Now, he's active. He does actually run marathons. He is a marathon runner. But, as most of you know, you can be a marathon runner and not be in great shape. This is something that's been noted over the years. A lot of people have realized this. That's the case. He does it to stay active. It's what he enjoys. He's not going to quit doing it anytime soon. But he used to lift a bit when he was younger, never really got to where he wanted. His form wasn't good. So when he hired me, the first thing we did was work on form. And we're like, you know what? How many people out here can relate to Nick? I put up a lot of advanced guys. I have intermediates. I have some of these young kids who are novices, who can bulk. They're eager to make gains, but that's not all of my audience. There's a whole lot of 35, 40, 45-year-old guys out there who are still early on getting started. Here's the difference. When you're that age, you have disposable income. But you guys to notice what happens when you have over 40 lifters who want to start. He's got all this rogue stuff in his garage. He's got a reverse hyper extension. He can afford a coach. And he came to me because he loves my work, realized I'm good, that I know what I'm doing, and that I'm very good with working with masters lifters. And he's like, you know what, this is who I want. And he's in it for the long haul. We're building him up from a very, very low level. We started with the empty bar recently, right? We started with the empty bar, and even now you're like he's doing work sets with 95 pounds on the bench, 135 on the squats. That's right. And we're going to build him up linearly. Now that he's got his form down, we had to learn how to squat, deadlift, bench correctly. He didn't know how to grip the bar correctly, which is, why he ran into problems when he was a bit younger. We're base building. We're learning good form. And if you look at his program, it's very basic. What do we have? 4-day upper, lower. Just 3 sets of bench press, 3 sets of overhead press. We do some one-arm dumbbell rows. All right. I've added a few tricep extensions recently just to make sure we're building some triceps. What do his lower body days look like? They're very simple. We do back squats, 3 sets of 10. We do 1 set of conventional deadlifts. 1 set of conventional deadlifts. Do some goblet squats for high reps, and then he does reverse hypers. Okay, now that reverse hyper handles all the extra low back. Some people say, well, is that necessary? If you're an over 40 lifter, look, this is what you need to be doing. If you're starting out, you guys have budgets. You're over 40, you're financially stable. You can afford a damn reverse hyper. You can afford a coach, to be honest. Let's be honest here. The only people who look at a coaching fee and go, oh man, this is rough, you're 20 years old. That's why. Okay, you're 20 years old. My masters lifters don't even bat an eyelid. Don't even think twice. I have plenty of these guys over 40 who they just stay on for life. Because for them, it's an investment in their future. And again, it's not expensive to them. But this is one of my examples of one of my guys. He's my least advanced lifter. He's in it for the long haul. But look how his programming looks. And so we had to spend it first. People say, so what's he getting out of it? He gets structure. He gets accountability. We worked on his form. Because again, keep in mind, he didn't know how to bench when we started. Notice now we keep those elbows in front of the hands on his overhead press, stuff like that. Right? When he bench presses, what's he do? When he bench presses, he now has locked wrists. We set in tight. When we squat, he doesn't roll up on the edges of his feet now. We learn the basics. Had to teach him how to deadlift without just fishing poling it and rounding his back. Had to teach him how to pull in tight. We learned the basics. And that's a big part of it. If you're a busy person and you don't have time to read and research and do all these things yourself, this is why you hire a coach. And again, this represents a very, very different demographic from some of the people that I coach. But I think what this highlights for people is that, as a strength coach, I don't just work with young, big, strong guys and girls. I do have masters, novices like this. I do have guys who we have to base build. And you know what? They're a part of my bread and butter. Okay? They're a big part of my coaching. I always have a handful of these guys. I make a minimum of, $1,000 a month off of guys over 40 who need to learn the basics, who need to build a base. They have the disposable income. They don't want to get hurt, and they want to just gradually build up for years. Okay, and if any of you out there are looking to be coaches, you might want to pay attention, because even if you mostly deal with powerlifters and athletes, you're going to have plenty of these guys who come in, and you're going to need to be able to help them. You know what? And they're consistent. They're some of the best clients. These guys never struggle to pay. Your 20-year-old kid's coach, I don't know if I can afford coaching this month. Okay? Doesn't happen with these guys. Something for you to keep in mind for those of you who want to get into this profession. So you better learn how to work with them. But you know what? The programming is simple, linear. Like he just does a bunch, 3x10s. He does one set of 5 on the deadlift. Yep, and it's all linear. We learn basic form. He does 6 to 7 exercises. We started with only 5. All right, got him on a reverse hyper, so we build that low back. We have the classic 4 barbell lifts. All right, we have the classic 4 barbell lifts, squat, bench, deadlift, overhead press. Have a little bit of dumbbell work, supplemental work. Right, in that case, rows, some triceps, goblet squats. Goblet squats are great for you, this demographic. Right? They're great for this demographic. The guys who are a little older, they have maybe their knees need to be gotten in better shape. You need to build them up so that they can squat. Man, the goblet squat is amazing. So I'll tell you right now, you start working with novice lifters over maybe 35, that goblet squat right there, that's a winner. Okay, so for a lot of you out there who are starting out, you're struggling to learn to even barbell squat early on. You can relate to Nick. Get on the goblet squat. Get on it. Notice his squat mechanics. Look how good they look. And he's a taller guy. Okay, this is teaching him to squat. This alone has improved the proficiency of his squat in a matter of weeks. And then that reverse hyper. This is not optional for you guys. You guys over 40 who are starting out and you want to stay healthy and pain-free and you want to build that back up, this is worth your money. You better get one. Better get one and have it in your house. And I cannot stress that enough. Him having this is going to be life-changing for Nick. But yeah, so this one's a little different. And you know what? But I bet you there's a hell of a lot of you out there who can relate to Nick more than you can relate to, say, Isaac. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.